Hello, wise learners. Good morning. On civic education this morning, we are going to be talking about rights and duties of citizens. At the end of the lesson, you all should be able to explain with examples rights and duties of citizens. State the difference between rights and duties. Last week, we talked about citizenship, where we define citizenship as being a legal member of a country, either by birth, by registration, by marriage, and so on. So today we are going to be looking at the rights and duties of a citizen as a member of a country. Now let's define rights. What is right? A right is something you have an option to do or not to do. Right is something you have an option to do or not to do. Rights are those areas of human existence where no one else is allowed to intrude. It is also those things citizens enjoy from the government as contained in the Constitution. Examples: you have freedom of speech. As a citizen, you have a right to speak against some proposed law that you think should not be made law, or you can even choose to ignore it. You can choose to speak against, or you can choose to speak for against some kind of proposed law that you think this is not right and it should not be made law in any country. You have rights to life. No one has the right to take your life. It is your right to live. You have rights to own property. You have freedom of association. You have the freedom to associate with whatever group you chose to and whatever religion you want to belong to. Is that clear? Now, there are some rights that citizens enjoy from the government, and these rights include quality education, good roads, electricity, and so on. Then, on the other hand, let's look at what duty is. A duty is something you are either morally or legally obligated to do. A duty is something you are either morally or legally obligated to do, that you have no legal or moral choice to avoid. Duties are obligations you have voluntarily assumed, whether by formal contract or what you feel personally responsible to do. Now, duties are obligations you have, and these include payment of taxes. As citizens, it is your duty to pay taxes, and we either pay taxes either directly or indirectly. Is that taken? Now you have respect to the rule of law and constituted authorities, and so many other duties you have as a citizen to perform to your country. Now let's look at the differences between rights and duties. Rights and duties are two sides of the same coin. One does not exist without the other. The test of someone has the right to something is by whether if someone else has the duty to provide it. Now, rights are legal, social, or ethical principles of freedom that people are entitled to by a governing body, whereas duties are responsibilities or obligations of an individual by the governing body that are required to be done by the said individual. Right is based on privilege granted to an individual, whereas duty is based on accountability or performing that duty by an individual. Now you can therefore say that the difference between rights and duties is that right is given to people to protect their basic freedom, while duties is given to those in charge to uphold those rights. People take on responsibility in exchange for rights that they get. Do you understand? Is that clear? With all of that being said, who can explain with examples rights and duties? Any question? Okay, here is your assignment. In a tabular form, you are to state the difference between rights and duties. In a tabular form, state the difference between rights and duties. Thank you and have a lovely day.